Now, if you look at, I am giving you in this particular slide some basic marketing tasks. These basic marketing tasks are with respect to four aspects. One is with respect to the demand state. With respect to that demand state, what is the type of marketing task that should be done, and what is a formal name given for the type of a marketing, and some examples I have given for this. Suppose there is a negative demand for your product. What is the marketing task that is associated with this negative demand? It is to disabuse demand. What is the formal name given for this particular marketing? It is called conversional marketing. Suppose you have to sell meat to a person who is a strict vegetarian. It is a big task. Similarly, you have to tell as a dentist that the person who has come to you, his teeth or tooth has to be removed. It's a big task as a dentist to convince your customer that your tooth requires to be extracted, because he is not going to easily consent for that. Similarly, vaccinations. You thought that if your child should be vaccinated, but the child is going to resist this vaccination with all the force at his or her command. So these are the types of negative demand states which you can easily visualize. There may be a number of them. Suppose you don't have demand for your product at all. What will you do? So you have to create demand. What is that type of marketing called? It is called stimulational marketing. This is in a lighter vein, the example which I am giving you. Suppose a father-in-law were to give his son-in-law or gift his son-in-law a boat, but there is no water. What can this son-in-law do? This is the next question which you have to answer. How does he create demand for the boat? This demand for the boat can be created in a creative manner only. So this son-in-law can look at creating an artificial lake where this boat can be of use. Okay. Similarly, you have to sell a old barbed wire, let us say. Many of our people have done it. How have they done it? Especially the people from Punjab, when they are doing it in Western countries, many of these old products, these barbed wire products also, they are able to market these products as antiques. Okay. So, in other words, we are not short of talent. Okay. So, suppose the demand for your product is latent. It is there, but it is hidden. What should you do? You should develop demand for the product. That is called developmental marketing. What is this developmental marketing? An example for this could be, you are a smoker, let us say. There is always a tagline, and there is always a caution line which is given on this cigarette pack. What is that? It says smoking is injurious to your health. In other words, it is telling you, don't purchase this product. If you take these cigarettes, it can cause damage to your health. Now, this has to be put on every cigarette pack according to the directions of the government. Now, suppose you say, I have come out with a cigarette. It causes damage to health, all right. But compared to other cigarettes, it causes less damage. Okay. So, what is it that you are likely to do? Look, take this brand A cigarette, it causes damage to your health. This brand B, which I am giving you, it causes less damage, which you can try. So, many times when you are telling a person to give up smoking, he says, suppose he were to confront you by saying that, look, you also come to smoking or you also try smoking. Will you be able to give up later? I will see. Then this type of branding can be helpful for such products. But not that I'm trying to advocate smoking, but for a company which is producing tobacco products, this can be one of the examples which you can think of. So if you see some of the things mentioned less, next, suppose your demand state is faltering. The best example is the task that is to be associated with it is revitalizing demand. It is called remarketing. The best example for this is church membership. So in the present day, when everyone is questioning, oh, is there God, that thing, this thing and all that. Now, similarly, church is also being questioned. So what are all types of preachings? So many times you find that people are asking, why should we contribute? So in a country like Germany, this type of of contributions are not really promoted. That is the church contributions. So you are a member of the church, you can't. So it doesn't believe in that religious this thing at all. So, but for the church to survive, church has also got to survive. It has to do remarketing. How it will do remarketing? It has to do its own promotional aspects. So some churches said you become a member this month, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay this month also. You don't have to pay next month also. All those types of things. Suppose the demand for a product is irregular. Then what is the type of task that is associated with it? It is called synchronizing demand. It is the formal name for such a marketing is called synchro marketing. The best example for this is your peak hour travel. So if you want to travel in many of the European countries, peak hour travel by train is always costlier compared to non-peak hours. Many times it is double or triple. What is the objective? The objective is you travel during the peak hours only when it is a necessity. Otherwise, you are not going to travel during peak hours. When it becomes a necessity, that is, you are going towards your office or things like that, then you go in for your monthly pass or whatever. When you go in for your monthly pass, the fare still comes back to the normal fare. That type of a scenario. Similarly, when the demand for your product is full, it was the case with HMT's watches in the 90s. What was the job? The job was in the 80s and the early 90s. The job of the company was to maintain demand, and it is called maintenance marketing. So HMT's watches was in this particular state straight from 70s, 80s and also up to the mid 90s. Without any problem. And when Titan came in, its demand started falling. Suppose you have a scenario where you have overfull demand. That is, you are not able to really satisfy this demand. What should you do? Reduce the demand. This is called demarketing. The best example which you can think of is the use of the San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge by motorists too often. They wanted to use this Golden Gate Bridge. There will be a small sway which they wanted to experience. And the result is the authorities started putting a small tariff for using this Golden Gate Bridge. Okay, you want to go use the Golden Gate Bridge? Fine. But pay so many dollars. Use the Golden Gate Bridge. Now look at the rate of growth of Bangalore. It is harmful to the city itself. So what should be authorities be thinking? The authorities should be thinking how to curb the growth of Bangalore. That is, demarket Bangalore. So how do you demarket Bangalore? One of the methods could be to impose a certain amount of tax for on settling down in Bangalore when it is not required. So this used to be the state earlier with respect to Bombay also, back in the 80s and the 90s itself. Suppose you wanted to move out to Bombay, they used to ask you questions. Suppose you wanted to move with your, the luggage, everything, shift your residence to Bombay. You had to produce proof to the authorities, that is the police or the checking post, that you have been transferred to Bombay. So I am moving all these items. All these things had to be done. Now, Bangalore is also in the same state right now. You have a burgeoning population and a crumbling infrastructure. This infrastructure cannot really take care of this type of burgeoning population. How do you face this type of a situation? In other words, you have to demarket. Suppose it is an unwholesome demand, the next state. What do? You have to destroy demand. What is this called? This is called counter marketing. An example for this is you have to do counter marketing with respect to your alcohol, drugs and cigarettes.